Okay, so today's practice is a seated practice to loosen up the spine a little bit through twisting and side bending. So you'll need something soft to sit on, and a couple blocks would definitely come in handy today, and a bolster or a couple pillows is also recommended for most of us. Okay, so come on, let's sit in a simple cross-legged position. Okay. So for many people, sitting in a cross-legged position just is not comfortable because of tension in the hips or the low back or what have you. So if you notice that as you sit, you kind of feel like you're falling back or your knees are up, sit up on a little extra height, like a big bolster or a couple of pillows, okay? So that you can sit more comfortably with more length in the spine, right up onto your sitting bones as best you can, okay? So just for fun, for a little more ease in my practice, I'm gonna stay up on the bolster today. So as you sit, just try to relax into the shoulders a little bit, try to find a little more length in the spine, meaning when we sit, we often sit with our back rounded and our shoulders come forward of the hips and our head comes forward of the shoulders. So just notice that tendency and see if you can feel like your ribs kind of float up above the hips and your neck floats up above the shoulders, okay? With as little tension as possible in the shoulders and the neck or in the belly. I know that's asking a lot. So we're gonna move to the sides with each breath. So we're gonna keep it fairly quick. So each side is gonna be either an inhale or an exhale. So let's start by leaning over to the right and inhaling the left arm over, exhaling to the left as the right arm goes over. So breathing in, over to the right, exhale over to the left, and just keep it going at your own pace. If you want to go slower than I'm going or faster, just do your best to move at a speed where you can feel what you're doing. You're mindful of the movement and still connected with the movement of your breath. That's it. And don't worry about how far over you're going. If you're not going quite as far as I am, perfectly fine. If you're going further, that's fine too, as long as you're not straining and pushing yourself. All right, so just go to where the spine wants to go. A couple more here on each side, just loosening up a little bit. And then this time, we're gonna stay over to the right. So right hand into the ground, left arm stretching overhead. If this doesn't feel good in the shoulder, just take the arm as high as it's comfortable, even letting the hand rest on the hip instead, okay? You're gonna feel a little more of a stretch though if you can stretch this arm overhead. Just notice if the shoulder blade is way up here. See if you can let it go. Relax and lengthen still through your neck. And feel this bottom shoulder blade also move a little bit away from the neck. Now, just stay here as you feel your breath. You can ease up a little on the inhale, and you can take it a little deeper with the exhale. Just find a little bit of movement there, making space for each inhale, and then feeling the exhale take you a little bit deeper without force, letting the breath move you. One more breath here. And then slowly bring it all the way up. And just pause for a moment. You might have felt already, as you just pause, you might notice a change in the left side compared to the right side. So just notice that. Okay. And then take the right arm over to the left. And let's go again with a bit of movement. First, over to the right, over to the left, and then we'll hold here. So left hand on the floor. Try to keep the fingers turned to point away from you. And that way you can move this shoulder blade into the back. Find the support of the upper back to help keep the chest nice and wide. And notice how it feels on this side. The spine could feel a little tighter, or maybe you have a little greater range of motion here into the side body. So notice how the breath moves into your right side now that you've found a little more space into it. Good, and then slowly make your way back up and release that. Okay, so take a look at your legs. And usually we tend to sit with one leg forward more than the other leg. So we're going to try to go to the awkward side now. So notice which leg you have in front or on top and try to bring it the opposite way. And it won't feel nearly as comfortable. You might feel like you're kind of crushing your bottom foot or can't quite get comfortable. So make little wiggles, little adjustments. Make sure you're still right up on your sitting bones so you've got lots of length in the spine there. All right, so from here we're going to do some twisting with the breath. So again, let's keep it a little free with the breath. So just start by taking your arms over to the right as you turn to the right, and then over to the left as you turn to the left. So imagine your arms are like, seaweed in the ocean. And they're just moving with the currents of the sea, nice and fluidly, nice and gracefully. Fairly calm day in the ocean. And just allow the spine to turn as your arms go side to side. Then try to feel the movement down into the lower ribs, feeling the whole rib cage turn around the central axis of the spine. And let the neck be part of it as well. That's it. Couple more. Over to the left for the last time, and then turning to the right. Right hand comes to the floor behind you or to a block if the floor is too far away. Left hand just anywhere on that opposite leg. Doesn't have to be way over here, okay? So rest through the shoulders. Notice how the shoulders get involved and see if they're hunching up here, and see if you can let them go. Rest them down the back, and imagine again the crown of your head lifting straight up above the shoulders, and keep that sense of length all the way up the spine as you are here feeling each breath. So with each inhale, it makes sense as your lungs fill to just ease out of the twist a little bit. In fact, if you relax, your breath will naturally take you out of the twist with each inhale. And then it's with each exhale, you can find a little support here, hugging up and in through the belly and feeling the turn gently through the spine, including the neck. But with each inhale, it's just as important to relax and soften again, letting the belly expand a bit. And then with the exhale, twisting and turning through the neck, through the shoulders, through the ribs. And find a couple more breaths here, just letting the spine move gently out of the twist and back into the twist a little deeper as you breathe. Okay, come on back to center. Twist over to the left, twist over to the right, turn back to the left. You might want to take your block with you, left hand on the floor, behind or beside your hip, depending on how far you've turned. The right hand can land anywhere it does on that opposite leg, and then feel the twist. And notice how it is on this side. Usually we tend to favor turning in one direction more than the other throughout our daily life. So one side is usually a little tighter than the other. So don't force the twist. Let the breath come in, softening your belly. And as you exhale, feel the turn deepen somewhat, letting the breath move you Each inhale, belly softens, lungs fill. Each exhale, hugging up and in through the belly, helps to deepen the twist through the spine. And go for one more breath here. All right, and then come on back to center. Okay, so we're going to stretch out the legs now, give them a little more of a stretch out in front of you. If you want to stay up on this bolster, perfectly fine. I recommend it. If you're noticing any tension in the hips and the low back, come up on a little extra height. I'm going to go down though, I think, or maybe I won't. Okay, have your blocks handy for this one. What you're going to do is take your left leg out to the side a little bit. In fact, take your right one out too. So your legs are out like a little bit of a V, just a small V out from the hips. You're going to keep the left leg where it is. And you might want, if you're up on a lot of height, just to keep that knee from hyperextending, you might want to bring something, even like a little pillow or rolled up blanket under the knee to keep it from moving down towards the floor too much. And then you're going to bend this right knee, and the other block can be on that right knee if it doesn't want to get quite to the floor. Okay? So make sure you're sitting right up on those sitting bones still. So bring your hands to your hips, to those hip creases, and see if you can find some length up the spine. So you might need to just tiny bit of a lean back and feel like you're lifting up from the pubic bone. And then as you come forward, the tiniest bit, doesn't have to be much, okay? Because as you go forward, you're gonna notice more of a stretch, right? Into that left leg all the way out through the heel. So you wanna keep a gentle flex through that left foot. Try to keep the toes pointing up to the sky. They might wanna rotate, the whole leg might wanna rotate out. Just try not to let it for this purpose here. And bring your hands to the floor. If you can, fingertips can come to the ground. And try to relax the shoulders back and down a little more. Okay, so just pause here in this little bit of a forward bend. It doesn't have to be much, okay? With each inhale, let the belly relax. Let the breath come in. Each exhale, hugging up and in through the belly, letting out all the breath. And with your next exhale, turn to face your left leg. So I've got one hand on either side of my left leg, whether I'm up like this or a little further forward if my body lets me without rounding the back, okay? If you can go further, by all means, you're welcome to do so without rounding the back so much, okay? Any of those options are fine, just keeping in mind the back of the leg. If you feel a lot of pull by the knee or by the bum, just back it up a little bit. I mean, you're going to feel a little bit, but you don't want to feel too much. Okay. Take the left hand onto that left leg, wherever it lands, whether it's up here or down there. Stretch the right arm out and towards your foot. We're going to turn with the breath here. So we're going to inhale and open and turn your chest towards your bent knee. And then you're going to exhale and turn back towards your straight leg. So each inhale, turning the spine to the right. Each exhale, turning it back to the left. And go for that a couple more times. Try to let the rib cage, the upper back, the chest move. And the spine, the neck, just follows that movement, okay? So don't worry so much about turning the head so much. Keep it in the upper back. All right, and then let's turn to the right again, turning towards your right foot, right knee, belly and chest facing the right knee, and then turn this right palm to face up. Okay, and then sweep the right arm over the ear. So now we're combining a side stretch with a twist. So we're turned to the right. We're stretching into that right side as our upper body has leaned a little to the left. This right arm, palm, the back of it can come, the back of your hand can come onto your left leg. And here it's so important to let yourself move a bit with each breath so you're not just stiff and held against it. So with each inhale, maybe ease off a little more. Each exhale, turn and stretch a little deeper. So let yourself move a little with each breath. Unwinding, coming up a little with each inhale, and then turning again to the right and stretching with each exhale. All right. And then with the next inhale, come on back upright. Whew. And give the legs just a stretch out in front. Roll them in and out a bit. Okay, take the legs comfortably wide again. Doesn't have to be super wide. Just enough to feel still the support down through the sitting bones. Feeling the spine's length in the center. So we're going to keep the right leg where it is and bring the left knee, bend it. And again, those props can come in handy. Block under the right knee to keep it from hyperextending. Left knee supported so you're not clenching into that hip. Okay, so find the length up and come forward without rounding the back. So each side is a little different. You might feel the stretch more intensely on this leg, or you might have, again, a little more movement. So you can stay up on the fingertips. You can walk the hands in a little closer if you notice the back getting involved. So try not to reach forward with the arms beyond where the whole back goes, okay? So notice if the shoulders are rounding forward or if they're lifting up towards the ears like this, and see if you can walk them back a little bit. Walk the hands back and open the chest a little more. Find some length through the front and the back. All right. Couple breaths here. Feeling the stretch out through that right heel, spreading the toes a wee bit back towards you. And then left arm. Oh yeah, we need to turn to the right first. So hands on either side of the leg, turning towards that right leg. That's it. So now you've turned away from your bent knee, and then you can a lot more easily bring the hand onto the leg. And then we'll turn the upper body. Let's inhale and open to the left, and then exhale and close it back off. Turning to the right leg. Breathing in, breathing out. You got it. Feel the inhale, stretching open. Feel the exhale, turning you back. So again, feel this movement in the upper back, and the head just follows the movement of the upper back. So rather than leading it with the neck and nothing else turning, try to find the movement in the whole spine, especially through the ribs. All right, and then open out to the left again. Turn that left palm to face up and sweep that left arm over the head to where it's comfortable in the shoulder. Back of the right hand can now land a little bit more onto the inside of the leg, so you apply a wee bit of pressure into that right leg, so you feel yourself turning away from it. So you're turning towards your bent knee here. All right, so this can be quite a lot. So if it's too much, just back it up. Be here as you breathe, easing off on the inhale, finding the twist a little deeper into the side bend with the exhale. Each inhale coming up a little. Each exhale moving back into it. So you're turning to face your bent knee, turning the belly and the chest in that direction as you stretch your left arm over the ear. Good. Go for one more breath here. And then as you breathe in, come on back up. Taking the arm down. All right. Stretch both legs out in front and do a little bit of gentle movement there. Loosen up any tension in the hips. And we're just going to end with the soles of the feet together. So make sure you're sitting up on something. If you notice that the knees, when they're in this position, when your feet are together, if the knees are a lot higher than the hips, come up on a little more support, okay? And that way, your hips are a little more comfortable. Okay, take the arms, palms facing the sky. And let's take the arms overhead, bring the hands together above the head, elbows bent out to the sides. So it's almost like what's going on in the legs is similar to what's going on in the arms. You know, elbows wide apart, away from each other, hands together, soles of the feet together as the knees move apart from each other. And feel your spine in the center, so your fingertips are like your spine, pointing straight up towards the sky. Find another breath here. Try to soften the belly as you inhale. And then drawing it back up and in with the exhale. And again. Nice. And then with your next exhale, see if you can come forward again from the hips. Okay, so notice if you're tight there, you're gonna notice as soon as you reach your limit, again, you're gonna wanna kind of do a nosedive down or reach the hands forward and round and tighten up into the shoulders. So try to avoid that. Don't worry about where the hands go. Let them land where they do without pulling on your shoulders. Maintain some length in the spine first as you go forward, and then you can allow a gentle release to come into the back. So find as much as you can a nice even arc in the spine from the head down through the upper back, through a little bit in the lower back. Okay, so you're not letting your head hang way lower than the shoulders, and it's not about pushing your forehead to your feet. Okay, so be gentle. Finding a gentle stretch in the back as you intensify the stretch a little more into the hips, the inner thighs. Feel another 2 breaths here. Good, and then slowly stack the spine back up to sitting tall. All right, take the hands to the outer knees. Bring the knees together. Give the legs a stretch again, out in front. Roll them in and out a few times. And I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks so much for practicing with me today. And namaste.